in three, two, one. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Big victory for President Trump. Make no mistake about it, regardless of how you may feel, President Trump had a fairly sizable victory today. Yet another appellate court has ruled in the favor of the former commander-in-chief. So we're going to be talking about this from a few aspects. Number one being, as President Trump is suggesting, is this all a witch hunt? At the end of the day, is there any likelihood President Trump will ever lose any case? Because folks are suggesting that none of these cases had no business ever coming to fruition, and that they're all some form of election interference simply designed to prevent Trump from being president again and or to bankrupt the guy. So we're going to be asking right off the bat, is every single case against President Trump a witch hunt? Is there anything that President Trump is being accused of, whether we're talking Fani Willis, whether we're talking Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Jack Smith? Is any of these cases legitimate? Merrick Garland, you can throw him in the pile as well. Or are all of these cases simply a fabrication to prevent Trump from ever being commander-in-chief? Is it a huge witch hunt with the target being election interference? Knocked down his bond. His bond goes from nearly $500 million all the way down to $175 million. Still a substantial sum, but both President and his attorneys, both Trump and his attorneys, state that they can readily come up with that amount. Not only did his bond get slashed by nearly 60% or more, he was given 10 days to come up with it, unlike he would have had to come up with it today. So he's got 10 additional days to come up with only a third of what he had to come up with. Also, the appellate court, if I'm correct, knocked down the ruling that his sons could no longer do business in New York for a few years. That also got struck down. So President Trump has done substantially well today, leading us to ask, is this all a witch hunt? Will this stuff ever come to fruition at all? Or is it just simply a matter of trying to prevent Trump from ever being president again? Now, he stated a hell of a lot of things. We're going to talk about it from a defamation angle as well. It will certainly give you folks plenty of time to state this. You know how we run an uncensored program. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. So whether you're in the box or the comment section, you know we don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We go left of Bernie Sanders to him having dinner with QAnon. So understand your comments will never be blocked here because it's all about free speech. But from an angle of defamation, he stated a hell of a lot of things that we need to discuss. Every case against President Trump is being run by Biden and his thugs. This is something that Trump stated after coming out of court, that Biden is orchestrating all of these cases against him. What say you folks? Weaponization of the Department of Justice. Biden is in control of the Department of Justice, and he's literally sending them after President Trump. Do you believe that's true? And he also stated that Letitia James herself is trying to prevent him from ever being president again. Now, that's obviously a state case on a civil level. There's no criminal issues involved with this. So how can Letitia James be trying to stop President Trump from ever being commander-in-chief again? But I'm only asking this because these are actual quotes coming from Trump less than a few hours ago. Stated that Judge Engoron, the one that ruled in favor of Letitia James, is the most overturned judge in New York. I believe that's something that could easily be researched. And if it is not true, this is what we're talking about, folks. This is the defamation stuff we're talking about. You can say whatever the hell you want. God knows we run a program here where we believe everybody gets to speak. But there are consequences for what you say. You can't just say things that could easily be proven false when they're designed to cause harm. Is Judge Engoron the most overturned judge in New York? Believe that could easily be researched. He stated that Judge Engoron is doing whatever Letitia James wants. Is there any evidence of that? Did Letitia James, during the course of their trial, ask for anything that the judge denied? Because he said the judge is doing everything Letitia James wants. Stated that it's a Biden trial. Not that necessarily the city of New York or, Fonnie Willis in Fulton County, not that they're going after him. He said that Biden is putting him on trial. It's coming from Trump himself. And last but not least, he said Judge Engoron is the most crooked judge there is. These are things that could lead to defamation cases in the future. Not likely, but just want to point out, you can say whatever the hell you want, but folks can come after you for defamation if it can easily be proven untrue. And Trump is known for saying whatever the hell he wants. So looking in the comments, call why is it they waited for years if it was that bad? Answer me that. Tim Moore, your grammar, are you suggesting that if what Trump did was that bad, why did they wait years to go after him? It's a legitimate point. Let's be honest. It's political. Let's be honest. If Trump was not running for president, the majority of these cases would not be, he would not be dealing with most of these cases. That's my honest opinion. Perhaps I'm wrong. Feel free to state it in the comments, but I do believe that if he was not running for president, a lot of this stuff would not be bestowed upon him. Meaning it is political. Meaning that what Trump is going through to some degree is political. Now, keep in mind, I'm stating that I believe the cases Trump is dealing with are political, and he would not likely be dealing with many of them if he wasn't running for president. I didn't say he was innocent of them. I'm saying that when you run for president, people hold you to a different standard. Very similar to what Hunter Biden is going through. Whereas he lied on a firearms application to obtain a gun, didn't commit any crime with the gun and got rid of it. If President Biden was not president or seeking to be reelected, I don't believe Hunter Biden would be going through that shit. That's also political. That is also political. Remember in 2015, how corrupt, how crooked Hillary Clinton was? Once she no longer was running for president, notice how all of that's disappeared? Notice how no one is going after it. Whatever crime she allegedly committed is still out there. Folks believe Hillary Clinton took a hell of a lot of people's lives. No one in Washington is trying to hold her accountable for murder. This is what we're talking about, folks. This is how the game is ran. It's not unique to Trump. Trump stated throughout his 2015-2016 campaign, Hillary Clinton is corrupt. Even said it during the debate, if I'm president, she'll be in jail. Once he became president, she was no longer a political threat. No investigation. Nothing. So yes, what Trump is going through is political, but he's not the only one. And he partakes in the same type of game when his opposition is running. He does the same thing. My guess is if President Trump wins in November, he won't give a damn about Hunter Biden or Biden once he becomes president. Maybe some allegations will continue, but the actual pursuit in court, if Hillary Clinton took lives and nothing was done about that once Trump became president in control of both the House and Senate, what Hunter Biden is being accused of is substantially less. Political. It's all political. It doesn't just apply to Trump, even though I know a lot of my beloved MAGA think so. So going straight to the box, we're asking that question. Is it time to realize that the courts are not going to be victorious against Trump? Eric, good afternoon.
Hey, handsome brother, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Trump had a big day today.
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it, man, but he's making it happen. I don't know how he's doing it, man, but but the point I wanted to make, you said something about someone asked why did they wait this long to come after Trump?
Right.
But they do that all the time. Look how long they waited to come. People bring up things about rape and stuff with Bill Cosby, and look how long they waited, 30-something years. Yeah. That happens all the time, bro. I mean, so come on. just because they waiting a long time doesn't mean he didn't do it. That doesn't mean he's innocent.
Yeah.
People scared of Trump because he's powerful.
Yeah,
he is powerful.
But my take on it is, if Trump didn't run for president, they wouldn't have came after him. I do agree that you want to cross your T's and dot your I's when you're going after someone powerful. But if he didn't run, I don't think they would have came after him on most of this stuff.
I actually agree with that. I agree with you. I don't think they would have came after them either. But Trump is not helping himself either. Keep calling the judge different names, and he's really not helping himself. If he was to just shut up, he'd do a lot better. If he just shut up, if he just shuts up, he'd do 100% better. But he can't. He hangs himself. And so he's gonna sooner or later his luck gonna run out.
I don't know if his luck's gonna run out at all. He keeps winning. But let me ask you this then. Do you think it's time that maybe we need to realize this is likely to be the next president?
Well, I can't. I wouldn't bet on it. He won't. I'm hoping he's not, but I won't bet that he won't. Yeah. Honestly,
because is that happening on your side? Somebody trying to get you, man?
Yeah. Okay. Keep knocking him down. I've been waiting to talk to you for a long time.
Okay, I appreciate
it, man. But I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I don't know, man. I wish I was him. Because he's just lucky. I've never seen nobody that lucky, man.
But
he's just a lucky guy. I mean, he gets away with a lot.
But Trump is stating he's being victimized by a two-tier justice system. It sounds like you're saying the opposite.
Nah, he's not being victimized. See, Trump got away with a lot of things. See, people that live in different states, they don't know Trump's true history. Everybody say, oh, he hung with the rappers and he did this and he did that. I'm from New York. I know guys that worked at Trump platform. Okay. Trump, he has a problem with people of color. The way he talks to them, the way he treats them, is different. And I'm just being honest. I'm talking about what I know from people telling me personal things with him. You know what I mean? He has his ways about himself, but everybody keeps talking about, why everybody say he's racist now. Come on. Central Park 5. Let's go all the way back to these guys. I mean, he really wanted, if it was up to him, all them boys would be gone from here now. Mm. If it was up to him.
So to make it so to be clear, you believe Trump has a problem with people of color. Now they're going to bring up Trump used to hang around Oprah and Mike Tyson and Don King and Al Sharpton. If he has a problem with people of color, why were so many people of color hanging around him?
Because those people of color they're hanging with, those are only rich folk. Those are rich folk.
So maybe he has a problem with
money like Trump. He can handle you. If you got money like him, he can treat you as. You only equal with Trump if you got money. If you don't have any money, Trump treats you totally different.
So does he have a problem with people of color or does he have a problem with poor people?
Well, I believe he got a problem with people of color because of the way he treated people in his apartment buildings. He had it pretty much set up. They putting codes on the applications and they're black, letting them not be able to get an apartment in his building. What is that? What would you call that? If that's not blatant racism, what is? I don't understand how else can you put that?
I gotta admit it doesn't sound good, but folks in the comments are suggesting it was debunked. I have not heard that being debunked.
That wasn't debunked.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so either. I would love to see the evidence. Feel free to submit it to my email, but I have not seen it was debunked that President Trump lost a lawsuit, a settlement that showed he was not. His apartment complex was not renting to people of color. I have not heard that was debunked.
No, that's not debunked. That was a big thing in New York City at one time, and that's not debunked. So I guess everything he's done is debunked. His university is debunked too, huh?
Well,
taking all them people's money is debunked too, huh? Everything is debunked. This guy, they say he's a great businessman. Maybe can you help me out? Explain to me. A great businessman has what, six or seven bankruptcies?
Yeah, but you gotta.
A great businessman.
Well, the counterpoint is anyone of Trump's stature that has been a real estate mogul, has had a bunch of businesses internationally. Most businesses, one of their LLCs may go bankrupt, or they fudge the numbers, but that doesn't mean they may not be successful. I mean, he himself, his wealth apparently has continued to grow. So I gotta disagree with you. I think he has been a successful businessman. Just some of the businesses didn't work out.
So explain to me if you're saying that if he's saying he's worth $3.7 billion, why was it so hard to come up with 464 million?
Well, I will agree with you that Trump is known for, I know more about COVID than anybody else. I know more about what's going on in Afghanistan than the generals on the ground. Trump is known for inflating things to astronomical levels. So when he tells you how much he's worth, I do believe he will always, inflate things. So when he said he was worth, I believe I played videos the other day during a live stream where he said he was worth 15 billion. He makes up things. I'm not going to disagree with that.
He's worth 15 billion, but he's asking $5, $10, $25 if you can, but you're worth $15 billion or $25 billion. Really? Come on, man.
Yeah. So, but let me ask it to you this way. Because some folks are suggesting that the courts are on Trump's side. Do you see any case, do you believe in it at all where the courts may be in Trump's back pocket?
I would love to say they're not, but how things is working out is really weird because how can you drop something from 464 million to 176 million?
175
million?
Yeah.
How does that happen? If it's a law and that's what it is, how do you change things? Why? Because it's Trump?
Well, but you know the counterpoint is going to be, how did you get ordered to pay nearly $500 million, for a crime that no one is really complaining about being victimized from day one? Why was the judgment so high to begin with? Folks are going to push back and say that.
Well, being a black man, and I hate to sound like this, but am I supposed to feel bad about something being exploded for something little? We go to jail for many years for little things. Come on, stop it.
Yeah.
I really don't care about that. That's bullcrap. I really don't care about that.
All right, I do agree with you that black people are known for getting excessive sentences, but that doesn't, you don't want to use one wrong to justify another one, do you?
No, I agree. I don't want anyone to go to jail. I don't want anyone to go do anything that they don't deserve.
Okay.
That's just being fair. That's being fair. But when you see it happening to my people, it happens to, and when you see he sneaks through it, it makes you feel bad. It makes you look at things like, I wonder what's really going on here.
All right.
No one should do time that they didn't. No one should do anything that they didn't deserve. You should get any time that you didn't deserve. If you did it, you should do your time. That's how I feel.
Fair enough. Sound like you point to a two-tier justice system there, Eric. I do got to move it on, though. Appreciate you coming in here.
Appreciate you, brother. You have a good one.
Absolutely. You too. Looking in the comments, no injury, no crime, says Tommy Six Guns. Bro, Floyd Mayweather can't read, and he's a powerhouse as far as being successful. How can you say black people's have it bad? Because 99.9999999% of black people don't know what it's like to live like Floyd Mayweather. You're going to really use Floyd Mayweather as some type of example of black people? Okay, let's not get ridiculous, as Balky used to say. Perfect Strangers. Some of you guys who are old enough to remember that sitcom. Looking in the comments, you misspelled no woman, no crime. I don't know what the hell. I didn't say anything like that. What about the Biden doing crime and having nothing done to them? Prissy Joe, and I say this in favor of President Trump all the time as well. Every alleged defendant deserves their day in court. In terms of President Biden, if the courts don't rule that he's guilty of a crime, it is what it is. Now, the one that did the investigation on Biden, suggested that he couldn't prosecute him or something because he's old or decrepit. It made Biden look awful. Not going to disagree. It made Biden look awful. But at the end of the day, just like in Trump's case, if the courts don't pursue, then you won. It's as simple as that. Look, let's be clear. If the courts rule in favor of Trump, do you really give a damn how they do it? At the end of the day, a victory is a victory. So it looks like President Biden, the accusations being made against him so far, he's beaten them. Remember when Trump was impeached for the alleged conspiracy with Russia for the election? And Robert Mueller ruled that, I can't show anything to prove he's guilty. Well, folks considered that as a victory. They considered that as a victory. So this alleged, or not alleged, but actual confirmed investigation in terms of Biden to impeach him, nothing's going to come out of that. I'm telling you right off the bat. Biden is not going to end up getting impeached for that. They don't have enough evidence or whatever. So that is a victory for President Biden. He's not going to get impeached for that. It's going to be very similar to Hillary Clinton, where people are saying this guy is guilty as hell, but none's going to come out of it. The way Donald J. Trump treated Puerto Rico is disgusting. Yikes, says Elizabeth. Well, every president is going to be referred to as treating somewhere in a disgusting manner. You can talk about Hurricane Katrina and George W. Bush. I mean, you got Biden with Palestine, Ohio, or the border. I mean, everybody believes the president is leaving them out somewhere, somehow. That's always viewed that way. People are always going to say, he didn't do shit for my area. People in Chicago think Obama didn't do enough for them. I mean, that's just how it goes. Tap the screen. 700 plus of you folks in here. Happy Monday to all of you folks. Trump has had a really good day, having his bond reduced from nearly $500 million down to $175 million. Still a huge sum, but for someone like Trump, pretty easy to acquire, to present, to pay. Not to mention, just earlier this weekend, we heard that President Trump's Truth Social is going public, putting yet another 3.6 billion potentially in his pocket. Say what you want about President Trump, whether you favor him or whether you despise him. It's hard to say Trump is not winning right now. Hard to say he is not doing very well as we speak. But going back to the box, we'll go to J Girl 007. Is Trump going to pull through this and likely lead this nation once again? Don't speak on my island if you're not from there. Says, I don't, what island?
Hello.
Good afternoon, J Girl.
Hey, handsome.
Good afternoon. So is Trump going to pull it out?
I hope not.
Why not? What's wrong with Trump?
Well, I heard your argument, but
You go with monologue.
talking to that young man earlier
Okay.
about the housing in New York. I've been in housing for 30 years, HUD housing. And, those apartments that he drove those folks out of, the only reason he did that was because he had to keep them up. They were in terrible, terrible shape. HUD requires that you keep them in a certain manner, and he didn't want to do that.
Wait. Are you talking about what he was referring to about not renting to people of color? What are you talking about specifically here?
Yeah, and it being people of color, he didn't care to throw them out.
So,
Because at that time in the 80s, New York City was a hard place, crime and things to that nature, but not because of the black folk, because of the drugs.
okay, so you don't.
And,
So what you're saying is Trump put these folks out to maintain a decent standard for his properties, but you don't think he was doing it out of racism?
yeah, he done it out of racism. He done it out because he knew those poor people didn't have anywhere else to go.
Okay,
And he don't care.
but was it
He
about?
don't care about you, honey. He don't care about me.
Okay, so but was it a matter of him not caring about poor people, or was it a matter of him not caring about blacks?
Both.
Okay, so you see him as racist.
Oh, yes, definitely. He is a con man, but he gets everybody else to do his conning for him. That's why everybody else that's around him in jail.
How do you think it? Let's say what you're saying is true. I got a hell of a lot of folks that are going to dispute or disagree with what you're saying, but let's, just for the sake of your statement, if what you're saying is true, he's a con man and everybody around him does his bidding and many of them ultimately pay a judicial price for it. How the hell does he keep finding folks willing to do it?
Dumb. Power.
You think-
He promises power. Michael Cohen, his last words going into the jailhouse was, if you mess around with Donald Trump, you're going to be where I'm at. It's power, honey. He. Have you ever seen him speed up his golf cart to 35 miles an hour and everybody else 15 miles an hour?
No, wait. You're telling me that on the golf course, Trump has adjusted his golf cart to go faster than everybody's? Is that for real?
That is for real. I seen a video and a documentary on Netflix about it.
No way.
Also, he cheats when you got to put your quarter down. I don't know much about golf, but you got to put your quarter down if it's not in the right area or whatever. Well, he takes and sticks his stick way out there. Everybody knows he's cheating. He's cheating, man.
Do you really believe that Trump is capable of this stuff, or is this just a hit job to try to ruin his character?
Yes. No. Yes, I believe I seen him run. They go jump in that golf cart and take off. So he can get.
I don't know why anybody would do that, but let me just say this. At the end of the day, if Trump is reelected, is there really anything you fear? I mean, we had him in office for 4 years. A lot of people favor how the country was ran. Is there really anything you're really concerned about if Trump was president again?
I'm worried about Russia taking us over.
You think if President Trump regained this position in the White House, America could be taken over by Russia?
Absolutely.
What makes you say that?
He's up his butt.
You think Trump would sell us out to a communist country? Like, you think he's that bad?
God rest his mother. He would sell his mother out.
Damn. All right, I got to move it on, J. Girl. You're pretty. I don't tend to agree with that. That's pretty strong. But wow, that's really condemning of the president. So you absolutely believe America should never put him back in the White House?
Never.
All right, J. Girl. Go ahead. I'll give you the last word.
I love your life.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You're scaring me, though. You're scaring me.
God. We just got to vote, man.
I do agree with that. J Girl, thank you for coming through. Looking in the comments, these anti-Trump clowns crack me up, says Halen on YouTube. By the way, we do run a simulcast on YouTube. For those on YouTube, I seen Craig say, glad this live is in normal format today. Due to a few friendly donations, we do have different equipment on YouTube. So hopefully it's a bit more clear, certainly in a widescreen format. So we're upgrading things on YouTube as well. So thank you for the comment. Feel free to smash that like button if you're on YouTube and tap the screen for my TikTok viewers. Certainly get the likes up to around 30,000. Nearly 800 of you in here almost. Could be anywhere you want. Always a pleasure having you here. So certainly tap the screen, get the likes up to 30. Now, we're asking, is it all a witch hunt? At the end of the day, will Trump emerge victorious from what was 91 charges down to 88 charges? What was a demand to put up $500 million in bond, now 175,000. The cases are being pushed out. Fani Willis is being challenged, her own credibility in Fulton County, Georgia. Her credibility is under wrap. Trump, by the way, has won the right to appeal the Fani Willis issue down in Fulton County as well, whereas they're still trying to take her off the case. As I stated earlier in the live, regardless of how you feel about President Trump, whether you love him or despise him, he is winning. There is no denying that. He is winning right now. He's kind of like a Bruce Lee character taking on a hell of a lot of people and kicking all their asses. He's winning, with the exception of maybe Letitia James. But even in that case, we'll see what happens as things get appealed. But he is winning. There's no denying he is winning. Looking in the comments, are you still Democrat? I still lean left. I still lean left on a lot of social issues, but I also understand the right quite well. Hopefully that answers the question. In the comments, someone says he is not winning handsome. The hell he ain't. Look who's happy today and look who's not. And you tell me Trump is not winning. Do you see a bunch of happy Democrats? Or do you see a bunch of happy Trump supporters? You don't have to listen to me. Just simply watch your television, look at social media, and come to your own conclusion. Going back to the box. Thank you, folks. Some of you folks are certainly not tapping the screen on TikTok. It helps out the algorithm. The program will remain MAGA friendly. So it does help out bring more folks to the forum. Doesn't cost you anything to tap the screen. I do appreciate those who do show support, but certainly tap the screen. Get your boy up to around 30,000. Going back to the box, we'll go straight to Andrew Shafino, I believe that says. Good afternoon. Welcome to the box. Trump will win. You Democrats gave him so much attention. Everyone loves a bad boy. So you're admitting that he's a bad boy, but you're saying by constantly going after him, you're helping him out. Andrew, good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing? How's everything?
It's going good. You kind of got a loud background there, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm a truck driver.
Okay. All right, well, let's see if we can get into it. Is Trump on the path to victory?
Yeah, he is. He is. Because in the end, everything is political. Everything is political. If there was really actually something there to put him away, it would have happened a long time ago.
So I mentioned this earlier in the live. You're saying that if there was something to put Trump away, they would have went after him. Would you say that going after Hillary Clinton was also political?
Yeah, of course. Okay. It's all political.
Yeah.
I mean, if they really wanted to put somebody away, they would have done it. It's all to get, play with people's heads and get them on their side. That's pretty much what it is.
So do you now he's facing 88 charges. Do you believe he is innocent of all 88?
It doesn't matter if he is or not. He's not put away.
Yeah, but that ain't what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you, if it matters or not. Do you personally believe he's innocent of all of it?
I think he is. I'll tell you why. Because if they had something, why are they dragging it this long?
He's the president, Andrew. He's the president. Yeah. You can't.
He's a president. He's a president that half the country don't like him. Well, supposedly half the country don't like him.
The odd thing is, you stated if he's the president, why did you wait so long? Trump is in court today, very much today, had an interview and stated that they're rushing everything. That they're trying to rush the cases. They're not giving me proper due justice. He's saying the opposite of you. He's not saying they're dragging it out. He's saying they're rushing it.
Rushing it, dragging it out. There's one thing a lot of people forget about Trump. Okay? That man lives in the court. Ever since the 80s. I know because I'm born and raised in New York City. Now, I live in Alabama now, but I'm born and raised in New York City. He lives in the courts.
How long? Wait. Hold on, hang on. I'll let you continue, but how long were you in New York? Were you there as an adult?
I was born and raised. I was born in 76, and I left New York City in 2013.
What was his reputation like? What was his reputation like in New York when you were there?
He was cool. Okay. He was cool. Everybody loved him.
All right.
Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
And I want to pull a point out that a lot of people don't understand about buildings in New York City. Because I used to be a plumber, so I did work in his West End Avenue buildings.
Okay.
Okay. When Trump puts up a building in New York City, okay, don't think he owns the whole building. He gets the loan from the banks. He builds the building, and then people buy the apartments. They're pretty much what you call a co-op. You put up a building, people buy the apartment, and then people pay their yearly fees for the maintenance and everything. Similar to a HOA.
Okay.
You buy a house in the neighborhood, you pay that HOA, and then, you get your lawns cut, take out your garbage, et cetera, et cetera. So when people say, he cheated the contractors, no, he didn't. That building was built by union workers. Okay, union workers. You ain't gonna cheat out a union carpentry or union iron workers, or you're not gonna cheat them out.
Wait a minute. So wait. So all of these folks suggesting that Trump doesn't pay his contractors and he cheated a bunch of people. You're saying that's wrong?
They have no idea how buildings work in New York City. They have no idea. When they say stuff like that, they have no idea how it works.
So
when you put up a building,
you know if you're working and you're not getting paid. If they're saying that they didn't get paid, are you saying that Trump is not the one that owed them the money?
If they're not getting paid, if you're not paying the union, you think the union workers are going to continue building that building in New York City?
Were they all union workers?
Yeah, they're all union workers.
Oh.
I'll put 2 weeks' salary. Okay, that's about $3,000 right now because I'm a company driver. I'll put $3,000 right now. If you can get anybody in New York City, anybody around the United States, and go to a construction site where they're putting up a building in New York City and ask them if they're not union.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. So unions.
They're not going to put up a union company is not going to put up a building pro bono. They want their money first before they start working on that building.
Right. So you think this now this reputation that Trump is not known to pay his employees, this came long before he ran for president, but you're saying it's just made up.
How could it be? How can they say stuff like that when you go into his buildings, and when you go into Trump Tower, or you go into the Millennial Building, or you go into his West End buildings and stuff? Everybody's paid. Everybody is paid. What I don't understand now, where this common thought comes from, okay? Where this common thought comes from is after when all the apartments are built already.
Okay.
When private customers go and they buy those apartments, okay? When they buy those apartments, this is where I came in as a plumber. They want the bathroom on the other side of the apartment.
All right.
So what do? We go in there and we cut a channel through the floor, run a pipe, and move all the plumbing onto the other side of the apartment. Now, those private customers probably didn't pay their contractors.
Okay, so
union or private.
Hold on. So what about the university and all these other claims? All of that stuff's just made up.
I don't know nothing about the universities. I just know about the buildings part.
You got folks who work for his. You got folks who worked at his casino saying he didn't get paid right. You got, what did he have? Trump Steaks. He's had a lot of businesses that failed.
Yeah, maybe he did have businesses that failed. Maybe he did. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the buildings in New York City. Everybody keeps saying that, he cheated. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's not going to happen. Anybody can go to those construction sites, and I guarantee you 100 out of 100, those are union companies putting up that building.
All right. I gotta move it on, but I do gotta move it on. But as a few folks in the comments were saying, the lawsuits don't say what you're saying. They do seem to indicate people believe that they weren't paid and he's lost lawsuits. I'd have to look further into it, but you're speaking quite favorably of him. I'm not saying you're not telling the truth because I don't know, but it's what I've heard sounds totally different than what you're saying.
Like I said, I worked in his buildings. I've done like 4 or 5 different apartments. Now, granted, there were not Trump's apartments anymore. They were private customers' apartments.
Okay.
Okay? Everybody thinks that when Trump builds a building up, all the apartments are his. It's not like that.
All right.
People buy those apartments. That's how he gets his money back.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Appreciate you coming in. You certainly gave me something to make me want to do my homework. But thank you for coming through, Andrew. Come on back anytime. Now, I've had a couple folks in the comments seem to have an obvious disagreement with my last caller. So I do want to move the program on. By the way, we're asking in regards to President Trump, he's had an awesome day today. President Trump has had an awesome day today. At the end of the day, will Trump prevail? I mean, you're talking a man facing 91 charges, had him reduced to 88, had his bond reduced, getting cases pushed out. He's doing very well. He is doing very well. Even with the Fonnie Willis case, where we went through that for a few weeks on whether she should be taken off the case or not. Fonnie Willis did win, but Trump has been given the right to appeal even that, which could literally start that whole thing all over again. Many are suggesting that none of these cases against President Trump will ever reach fruition before November 5th, I believe it is. So he's winning. Regardless of how you feel about it, he is winning. I want to hear from someone that had a counterpoint to my last guest. Truth is irony. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Handsome, how are you?
I'm doing good. Now, do you have any experience with New York?
My father lived in Brooklyn. I live in Jersey.
Okay.
So I'm definitely familiar with the goings on. And people say, they make me laugh. People say, well, everybody loved Trump in the 90s. Everybody loved OJ in the 90s too. How's that working out for you?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Don't even give me that. First of all, as far as what that guy was talking about, he absolutely missed the boat on the point of what people are saying about him not paying people. They're talking about him not paying contractors. When he has work done in his buildings, upgrades and what have you, he'll bring in a private firm to come in. They'll do the work and then they won't get paid. There's documented proof. He has over 3,000 lawsuits because he refused to pay people, not union workers. Union workers don't even get paid by whoever is building the building. They get paid by the company that they work for. The builder pays that construction company, and then they pay the workers.
Okay,
that's not how that works. So that guy knew absolutely zero.
Well, but he is from New York, and he claims that President Trump did not have the reputation people were putting on him. In other words, he's suggesting that Trump was paying off his employees.
Well, I'm sure if you work in Trump Tower, you got paid, but that's not what the accusations are. That's not where the lawsuits are coming. The lawsuits are coming with, for example, when he had upgrades done in Atlantic City. There's a guy that put out a whole video. The guy went out of business because Trump signed a contract with him to pay him millions of dollars to do renovations. The guy did the renovations and Trump stiffed him on the money. The guy had to go out of business. One guy even committed suicide because Donald Trump brought him up, didn't pay him and caused him to go out of business.
Wow. So if he was doing these things, why? I mean, because the guy won, he won in 2016 fairly, by a decent margin. I mean, he beat Hillary Clinton undoubtedly in 2016. If he's
he won the Electoral College, dudes. What everybody knows is not fair. The Electoral College should have been done away with years and years ago. He lost the popular vote. In America, it's not even one vote. One person, one vote now.
Wait. You believe hang on. You believe this country should get rid of the Electoral College? Really?
Absolutely.
So you believe the popular vote should make the decision?
Absolutely.
So if you live in a state like Wyoming or Idaho or Montana, where there's very few people compared to New York and California, you want the people in California to dictate how Wyoming should operate?
No, but they should dictate who's the president.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
No, it's not. Because you know how we know it's not? Because Colorado wanted to kick Trump off the ballot, but they couldn't. Because why? Because it's for the entire country. So the states still have power. Wyoming should have as much power as a state with 800,000 people can have. But in the state of Wyoming, your vote is 500 more times as powerful as it is in California.
I get you're making a point in terms of the power in a rural state compared to in an urban area, but I totally disagree. Because remember, the way this country was set up is you had essentially 50 different countries uniting together to act as one. Really, every state is its own country, and they decided to all be together and work under the federal government. If I knew that a heavily populated state like California would have more say so than my little small state, and I wouldn't get equal representation, I wouldn't want to be part of the union. I'd rather act as my own independent country than join a union where they're going to tell me because you don't have many people there, the more populated country should rule.
How long do you think Wyoming would last without the United States backing?
Depends on how many friends they get. I mean, I'm being serious. If Wyoming would,
do you know what the gross national product for Wyoming is?
You did, but you don't understand. Let me clear it up for you. When I say depending on their,
where the goats can get it, as Joe Madison would say.
Okay, let me do that. When I say depending on their friends, Wyoming is obviously in close proximity to the rest of the United States. Just like how America has bases on every continent because we want to be near our enemies, Wyoming could make a fortune from Russians and Chinese. Listen, you could put a base in our country. I mean, if Wyoming would make a killing, you could put businesses here, everything. You would be right in close proximity to everywhere in the United States you need to be and Canada. They would make a killing off of that.
So you're saying that the United States would allow that, because that there's no way that the United States would go for that, bro. There's absolutely no way. They would do whatever they had to do to eliminate that possibility. There's no way any foreign adversary is going to be able to put a base on these continental connected United States, even if one secedes, even if Texas secedes, even if Florida secedes. They're not going. The United States military would never allow that, bro. I get your point. If that were possible, that makes sense, but that's not even.
Isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that what America does? Is we put bases in other countries for that same reason?
Yeah, but the reason why, what you're saying and what we're actually doing as a nation, say like in Israel, that's one of the reasons why we established Israel as a state, so we could have a base there, so that we can, control the the oil and all of that. So we didn't want to be, blindsided and shut out from the oil. So we said, let's establish this Israel state, and we'll have a base there, and we'll be connected to all of this oil, everything. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, most of those countries, except Israel, that we established, most of those countries were already established. So all we had to do was get an agreement with them. So if somebody like Wyoming, what we're talking about, just decides, hey, we're seceding from the United States, they don't have the financial ability to secede. So they said, well, in order for us to make that, to be able to do that, we're going to bring in China. We're going to let China establish a military base. We're going to let Russia establish. That would never, ever, ever happen.
I was going to tell you right off the bat, I would never say never, ever. I mean, we've seen a lot of things. You're talking about President Trump. Did you think we'd ever be in this situation right now? From January 6th to now, do you think you would have ever seen this? President Trump having his home raided, what happened on January 6th, all of that. Do you think we would have ever seen Roe v. Wade has been rolled back? I don't think I'd ever say never, ever at this point.
No, you know what? That's a great point, because no, I did not think. You know what? Let me share something with you really quick on a few weeks
real quick
before the election in November of 2016. My wife asked me. She said, "Do you think that Trump can win, because it looks like he's kind of close?" And I said, "Sweetie, there's not enough racist and ignorant people in America for Trump to ever win an election." So I was dead wrong on that.
Yeah.
So there obviously is, and like we were just talking about, because of the electoral college, he was able to win. He did not have the majority of the votes, and if and I get tired of hearing people say, "Oh, in 2020 that he really won, that the election was stolen." It's nonsense. When in 2000, when the Apprentice didn't win an Emmy, guess what Trump said?
He was stolen. I've seen the clips on Trump over the years. Yeah, I've
So
seen the clips on.
anything he loses
Yeah,
was rigged.
I've seen that. I've seen the montage of all of the times Trump, even when he was backing Dr. Oz against Fetterman in Pennsylvania, he was already claiming that elections were fraudulent elections were taking place in Pennsylvania until Dr. Oz came forward and said that's not happening here. But he is known for alleging, things are rigged when it doesn't go in his favor. But it works.
So when Texas, real quick, when Texas put that, that suit up against Pennsylvania because they changed, because of COVID, they changed the rules for the election and Trump lost. The governor of Montana said, well, we did the same thing and Trump won there. We did the exact same thing that they did in Pennsylvania. How come nobody's suing us?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't like to lose. I do got to move it on. No truth. I agree with you. He doesn't like to lose. And if he loses, he's going to allege something was not done on the up and up. Appreciate you coming in, though.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. Keep on keeping on, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate the accolade. No, looking in the comments, most U.S. bases overseas are a product of previous conflicts. Yeah, many of them that we started. Many of them that we created a reason to be there in the first place. But I do agree with what you're saying. Explain the rallies, boss. What do you mean by the rallies? Many maggots are racist. Not all, but many. Yikes. You believe that many folks identifying as MAGA are racist? Not all. What percentage? If you want to suggest that there's a large portion of MAGA that's racist, in your humble opinion, what percentage? What would make you say that? My three people, Handsome, Zeus, and Takesha. Thank you. Somebody said totally wrong in regards to most folks identifying as MAGA or racist. Okay. Looking in the comments, I don't know about that. You seem well managed, in my opinion, says Andrew on YouTube. Thank you. YouTube is an issue today. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I ended up real quick, and I'll go back to the box. Just want to say this real quick. I did try to run YouTube on my new equipment in a 3x4 or 16:9 format. So it's a widescreen format. This is irrelevant to you folks on TikTok, but they're doing something with the numbers. So I actually am running on YouTube in both widescreen and vertical format. And for some reason, the vertical numbers are way better than the widescreen. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to maintain a widescreen. I guess there's something about YouTube. They differ on what you can do. So I'm actually running on YouTube in two different formats. Crazy. All right, looking in the comments, just another, I don't know what the end portion of that is, but let me bring you up. I'm from MS. Is that Mississippi? I know way more racist Democrats than Republicans. Mississippi is unique. I mean, just the history of it. I don't know what else to say on that. Mississippi is a very unique area because its history is so damn bad. Just another good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing
another number, but my name is Joseph.
Okay, we'll go with that, Joseph. So what do you think? You think that all of this court filings against Trump just a witch hunt? You think he'll end up defeating all of this and becoming our next president?
Yeah, I really think he's gonna beat it. I really have no doubt. He may get a few fines here and there, but nothing serious. And then even in the appeals, he's gonna win that also. I really don't see him having any.
Now let me ask it to you this way: is he going to win an acquittal or have these cases thrown out, or is he going to win by delaying them all until after he's president, so then he can just trash them himself?
Well, being that there's so many of them, it'll probably be like all three. You know what I mean? There'll be some that he'll win on the appeals. There'll be some that he'll win before, in the court itself. And then once he becomes president, whatever's left, he'll probably just toss them out,
Well, if he wins on an appeal, that means he has to be found guilty of something first. The only thing he's really been found guilty of at this point is civil cases with Letitia James and E. Jean Carroll. You think those cases will be thrown out in the future?
Most definitely, yeah. Especially with the way her credibility is going now, in the direction her stuff is going. I mean, the truth always comes out. You know what I mean?
Wait. You said her credibility. You talking about E. Jean Carroll, or you talking about Fonnie Willis?
Fonnie Willis, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Letitia James is the one in New York about him evaluating and devaluating his properties. Do you think he will win that on appeal?
most definitely. Most definitely.
Why do you say that?
Because I mean, it's really not. Who are they? Who are the courts to say what the property value is? He went through the banks. He did everything the way he was supposed to do. He had auditors check it, and if they didn't do their job right, I mean, why is that his fault? You know what I mean? They should go after the bank if that's the case.
Well,
right.
Well, the thing about it is, if a document is not accurate and you sign it, it really don't matter how they came. Just like if you do your taxes at H&R Block and they completely fabricate your taxes, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's signing them, and it's either benefiting or hurting you. Your signature's down. The IRS is going to come after you, not H&R Block. You signed it.
Well, then if that's the case, they're going to have to take all of America to court on cases like that, because who doesn't do that?
Well,
You know?
I agree with you, but if that's the case, why not show up to court when you get a speeding ticket and say, what American doesn't speed? You can't. If you're going to give me a speeding ticket, you got to give all of America a speeding ticket. What American doesn't speed? That doesn't work in court, does it?
No. What I'm saying is this: is that if that's the case, they might as well start summoning everybody to see if they got their, if they did their property value right. You know what I mean? Evaluation right. I mean, if that's the case, why are they going to do it just to Trump? I mean, yes, everybody speeds, but you have to have a witness for that. When you have documents, then there's your evidence. You know what I mean?
Well, but there is a witness. There is a witness. The reason Trump went under investigation is Michael Cohen testified to his part in it when he was before Congress. They do have a witness, the guy who was doing it.
No, that's what I'm saying. There is a witness for that. There is documentation for that. That's what I meant.
Okay. So in Trump's case, do you think Michael Cohen is lying about it all?
You know what? And at that level, it's really hard to say, because you know what? People get pushed into a corner where either you want to live or you want to be unalive. Or you want your family to disappear with yourself. Either you do what we say or this or that. So
what are you saying then? Michael Cohen's life may have been under threat?
Yes.
By whom?
By the ones who are trying to attack Trump.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, I suppose. But wow.
I mean, it's in the movies, right? I mean, come on, doesn't life imitate art and art imitates life? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They show us that what they do every day through the movies, basically.
But that has to be proven, though, Josh. I mean, if they can't prove that someone is threatening Michael Cohen and making him lie, and by the way, he's all over the internet backing his statements up, so it's not like he lied under duress and just did it one time. He has his own social media page. He's constantly saying Trump is guilty for this stuff.
No, I agree. You know what I mean? But I mean, when your life is put on the line by these people that you think could make you disappear,
right,
you're going to do what you got to do to stay alive.
Okay, I understand your point, but obviously we're just speculating. There's never been there's never even been anyone that suggests that Democrats or anti-Trumpers are threatening the life of Michael Cohen to make him lie. I've never heard. Have you heard someone ever say that?
No. I'm not gonna say I've heard that, but I mean, we cannot leave that out.
Yeah.
We cannot rule that out.
You know what I
mean? I think there's more. If anything, there would be more of a possibility of ruling that in, even though there's no evidence.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, with something. By the way, Deanna, thank you for the teddy bear, Deanna Clark. Thank you for your support. Appreciate that. So, what about the notion?
Look what happened with the Twin Towers, and look what happened with the JFK. You know what I mean? A lot of people were silenced because they didn't want the truth to come out on what happened with JFK and the truth on that.
So how do you respond? How do you respond to folks who say, "Look what happened on January 6th, how you had all of these Republicans saying Trump was guilty, and then on January 7th they changed their mind"? Did somebody get to them?
Maybe they didn't have the whole story in before they started talking. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Okay, but is it possible? Is it possible that maybe somebody was threatening them?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Because, I mean, you got everybody from Mitch McConnell to Lindsey. Lindsey Graham thought the protesters should have been shot in the head. And the next day he's all pro-Trump. Perhaps somebody may have gotten to him, as you're saying.
But you know what? They were actually shooting people in the head with the rubber bullets. They were agitating them. And that's what caused caused everybody to start getting all aggressive because the Capitol Police were literally shooting rubber bullets directly at the people.
What do you think they should have did? What do you think they should have did? What do you think the Capitol Police should have did?
What should have been done is somebody who was ever in charge of security that day should have had more police presence and or even military presence. That would have stopped and prevented anything. This is their government. They should know. They should have the foresight to see what was coming and prevent it. They should be proactive and not wait till something happened and then try to take care of it.
But who was in charge of the government there that day?
I don't know. I'm just saying whoever was in charge that day, you know what I mean? Whoever was in charge for that day, they're the ones that should have handled that.
Yeah.
They're the ones that should be investigated. Why didn't you have proper security? Why didn't you, have this set up and that set up or whatever the case may be? They're the ones that should be investigated.
Yeah. Now that whole event was sparked by Trump suggesting that the election was stolen from him, particularly by President Biden. Do you believe Biden deliberately took the election from Trump?
I don't think Biden did personally, but maybe the powers that be, you know what I mean? The ones that are actually pulling the strings. And again,